Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next hour, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi honoured with Kuwait's the Order of Mubarak, the Great Award. PM also holds discussion with the Amir of Kuwait. Big relief for US citizens ahead of Christmas. The government shutdown averted as President Biden signs funding bill into law. US carries out series of airstrikes against Houthis in Yemen. Within hours of Houthis fired a ballistic missile at Israel. Russia claimed striking Ukrainian ammunition depot while Ukraine reports repelling attacks. First up, news on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's two-day visit to Kuwait. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi engaged in comprehensive discussions with Kuwait's Emir Sheikh Meshal Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah on Sunday, aiming to strengthen bilateral relations. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi was honoured with the Order of Mubarak the Great or Wissam Mubarak Al Kabeer award. The order is conferred in two classes as the highest knighthood honour of Kuwait as a sign of friendship to heads of state and Kuwait and foreign royalty. The order was founded on 16th of July 1974 by the government of Kuwait to celebrate the memory of Mubarak Al Sabah, called the Great Sheikh of Kuwait, who ruled Kuwait from 1896 to 1915. The collar of the order is composed of a golden medallion with a decorative ring with floral motifs, with a central medallion showing a sailboat and one of the national emblems of the state. The body of the collar is alternating with squares of blue enamel bearing a sailboat and a 10-pointed star in white enamel bearing in the center the monogram of Kuwait. It's the 20th international award bestowed upon him by a country. The Indian Prime Minister also met with Kuwait's Crown Prince Sheikh Sabah Khaled Al Hamad Al Mubarak Al Sabah. Also led delegation level talks with top leadership of Kuwait. And earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was accorded a ceremonial welcome and the Guard of Honour at the Bayan Palace in Kuwait today. The Prime Minister was received by his Kuwaiti counterpart Sheikh Ahmed Abdullah Al Ahmed Al Sabah. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ongoing visit to Kuwait marks a significant milestone in India-Kuwait ties, being the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister in 43 years. Earlier on Saturday, the Prime Minister addressed a massive gathering of the Indian diaspora at a special event named Hala Modi at the Sheikh Saad Al Abdullah Indoor Sports Complex in the city. Indian nationals representing a cross-section of the community in Kuwait attended the event. Prime Minister Modi was welcomed by the community with exceptional warmth and enthusiasm. Addressing the Indian diaspora event, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, India and Kuwait share a relationship rooted in civilizational and mutual affection.
भारत और कुवैत का रिश्ता सभ्यताओं का है, सागर का है, स्नेह का है, व्यापार कारोबार का है। भारत और कुवैत अरब सागर के दो किनारों पर बसे हैं। हमें सिर्फ डिप्लोमेसी ने ही नहीं कि दिलों ने आपस में जोड़ा है।
Prime Minister Modi highlighted that Kuwait helped India when it needed the most by providing liquid oxygen to the country. PM Modi added that India too supported Kuwait during the COVID-19 pandemic by sending vaccines.
जब भारत को सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ी तो कुवैत ने हिंदुस्तान को लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई दी। हिज हाइनेस द क्राउन प्रिंस ने खुद आगे आकर सबको तेजी से काम करने के लिए प्रेरित किया। मुझे संतोष है कि भारत ने भी कुवैत को वैक्सीन भेजकर इस संकट से लड़ने का साहस दिया। भारत ने अपने पोर्ट्स खुले रखे ताकि कुवैत और इसके आसपास के क्षेत्रों में खाने पीने की चीजों का कोई अभाव ना हो।
Applauding the country's achievements, Prime Minister Modi said that India is the 5th largest economy in the world. It is home to the world's #1 fintech ecosystem and the 3rd largest startup ecosystem globally.
दुनिया की 5वीं सबसे बड़ी इकोनॉमी है। आज दुनिया का #1 फिनटेक इकोसिस्टम भारत में है। आज दुनिया का 3रा सबसे बड़ा स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम भारत में है। आज भारत दुनिया का 2रा सबसे बड़ा मोबाइल निर्माता देश है। मैं आपको एक आंकड़ा देता हूं और सुनकर आपको भी अच्छा लगेगा। बीते 10 साल में भारत ने जितना ऑप्टिकल फाइबर बिछाया है, भारत में जितना ऑप्टिकल फाइबर बिछाया है उसकी लंबाई वो धरती और चंद्रमा की दूरी से भी 8 गुना अधिक है।
Prime Minister Modi also highlighted that countries around the world are opening their doors to India's skilled workforce.
भारत ने हाल के वर्षों में करीब 2 दर्जन देशों के साथ माइग्रेशन और रोजगार से जुड़े समझौते किए। इनमें गल्फ कंट्रीज के अलावा जापान, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, फ्रांस, जर्मनी, मॉरिशस, यूके और इटली जैसे देश शामिल हैं। दुनिया के देश भी भारत की स्किल्ड मैन पावर के लिए दरवाजे खोल रहे हैं। साथियों, विदेशों में जो भारतीय काम कर रहे हैं उनके वेलफेयर और सुविधाओं के लिए भी अनेक देशों से समझौते किए जा रहे हैं।
The Indians in Kuwait warmly welcomed the Prime Minister with colourful performances by artists during the community event. Let's listen in to what they said about meeting the Prime Minister of India.
About the development and the rank of India in the world. For the India is 5th in economy. That's
now, Modi is always good, always brilliant. He conclude everything from the beginning to the end. Development of India, relation of Kuwait, everything very nice. We were very excited for Modi. Hip hip hooray! Modi hai to mumkin hai.
43 years, first time he is coming. 43 years after 43 years, it's great. Yeah, and his speech is awesome. Yeah, and we are very lucky to see the Modi and his speech. and we are here presently. It's a lifetime achievement.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized the strong trade and cultural ties between India and Kuwait during his ongoing visit to the Gulf nation. Speaking to Kuwait's Kuna news agency on Saturday, PM Modi highlighted the steady growth in bilateral trade and a deep-rooted relationship between the two countries, which he described as both dynamic and historic. PM Modi highlighted key areas of cooperation such as energy, trade, diversification and innovation, while urging businesses and entrepreneurs from both countries to collaborate further. Prime Minister Modi also noted the significant contributions of Indian expatriate community in Kuwait, emphasizing their role as a bridge between the two nations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also visited a workers' camp in Mena Abdullah area of Kuwait with a workforce of around 1,500 Indian nationals. Prime Minister Modi interacted with a cross-section of Indian workers from different states of India and inquired about their well-being. The visit to the workers' camp is a symbolic because the importance attached by Prime Minister Modi to the welfare of Indian workers abroad. In last few years, the government has undertaken several technology-based initiatives such as e-migrate portal, Madad portal and upgraded Prasar Bharati Bima Yojana for the welfare of Indian workers abroad. Indian workers top the private sector as well as domestic sector workforce list according to Indian Embassy in Kuwait. Indian exports to Kuwait reached $2 billion for the first time, while investments by the Kuwait Investment Authority in India exceeded $10 billion. Still to come on DD India News Hour. India condemns Christmas market attack in Germany in which 7 Indians sustained injuries. 38 people die in a major road mishap in Brazil.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. India's Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar on Sunday interacted with the recipients of the Chaudhry Charan Singh Awards 2024 at the Vice President's Enclave. Among the honorees, Neerja Chaudhry received the Kalam Ratna Award for her dedication to insightful journalism. Known as the Waterman of India, Dr. Rajendra Singh was conferred the Seva Ratna Award for his pioneering work in water conservation. Pritam Singh was presented with the Kisan Award for his contributions to agricultural excellence, while Dr. Firoz Hussain was honoured with the Krishak Utthan Puraskar for his advancements in agricultural research and innovation. India's Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated and laid the foundation stone of various development projects worth over 660 crore rupees in Tripura's Thalai district on Sunday. Home Minister, who is on a 3-day visit to Tripura, also visited the Bru settlement camp at Haduklau in Tripura. During his interaction with the Bru settlers, Minister assured the inhabitants that those who do not have Ayushman Bharat card will soon get their own cards. Minister also urged the youth to take good education to prosper in life. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said that India will not permit others to impose a veto on its choices and stressed that it would act in its interests without being intimidated to conform. He was addressing an audience virtually in Mumbai, ceremony organized by South Indian Education Society, where he was conferred the 27 Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati National Eminence Award for Public Leadership.
It is the deep inherent unity of our existence that has allowed diversity to flower in our land. this should never be misportrayed as a negotiation between parts that are actually so integral. Nor can our great nation be projected as an idea. On the contrary, it is a timeless reality and an enduring feature in a changing world. Independence should also never be confused for neutrality. We will do whatever is right in our national interest and for global good without being intimidated to conform. In the final analysis, Bharat can never permit others to have a veto on its choices.
The External Affairs Minister also said that India had shown to everyone in the last decade that it had the capabilities, confidence and the commitment to advance development across the board.
Our nation and society are poised today at a crucial juncture. On the one hand, the last decade has demonstrated that we have the capabilities, the confidence, and most importantly, the commitment to advance development across broad fronts. On the global stage, we have established ourselves as an independent power, but one committed to global good, especially the well-being of the global South. At the same time, however, the constraints and limitations that have long been our bane still remain in play. There are viewpoints and ideologies which are more pessimistic, divisive, and even denigrating of ourselves. As a democratic polity and a pluralistic society today, as to the course the nation will take in the coming times. Both the direction and destination would depend on our identity as a people, our convictions as a society, and our vision as a nation.
Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri is in Mauritius for a 3-day visit, marking the first high-level bilateral engagement between India and Mauritius following the formation of the new government led by Prime Minister Naveen Ramgoolam. During the visit, Foreign Secretary met the former Prime Minister of Mauritius, Pravind Kumar Jugnauth. Discussions were held covering the special nature of India-Mauritius ties and the people-focused nature of the development partnership. The Foreign Secretary Misri also met Deputy Prime Minister of Mauritius and discussed ways on further consolidating the truly exceptional bilateral ties. India has condemned the attack in Magdeburg, Germany, calling the incident horrific and senseless. In a statement, the Ministry of External Affairs said that several precious lives have been lost and many have been injured, adding the Indian mission is in contact with Indians who are injured as well as their families and rendering all possible assistance. The incident occurred on Friday evening when a car rammed into a crowded market which was full of shoppers buying things for Christmas. Meanwhile, German authorities have identified a Saudi man with a history of anti-Islam rhetoric as the suspected driver in a car ramming attack at a Christmas market in Magdeburg, which killed 5 people. The suspect is 50-year-old Saudi psychiatrist Taleb Javed Al-Abdul Mohsen, who has lived in Germany for almost 2 decades, was arrested at the scene, ending a bloody attack that injured hundreds in just 3 minutes. The motivation of the suspect may have been disgruntlement with the way Saudi Arabian refugees are treated in Germany, as per a prosecutor. City official further announced that the Christmas market will remain closed this year. A 9-year-old child and 4 adults were killed in the attack and some 200 people were wounded, 41 of whom had either serious or critical injuries, meaning the death toll could increase. The US military says it bombed missile storage facility and a command and control facility operated by Houthis in Yemen's Sana'a on Saturday. US Central Command Forces said that the attack aimed to suspend Houthi operations, such as attacks against US Navy warships and merchant vessels in the southern Red Sea, Bab al-Mandeb and Gulf of Aden. Adding further, the forces also said it struck multiple Houthi drones and an anti-ship cruise missile over the Red Sea. The attack came within hours of the Houthis fired a ballistic missile at Israel, which injured more than a dozen people in Tel Aviv Park. Syria's new rulers have appointed Murhaf Abu Kasra, a key leader in uprising that ended Bashar al-Assad's rule as defense minister, an official source said on Saturday. Abu Kasra is a senior leader in Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, the Islamist group that spearheaded Assad's recent ousting. The announcement follows intense discussions led by Syria's de facto leader, Ahmed al-Shara, on shaping the nation's military future. Prime Minister Mohammed al-Bashir vowed to rebuild the defense ministry with rebel factions and defectors as Syria begins a fragile 3-month transitional phase. In the latest from the ongoing conflict, Russia claimed that its forces struck Ukrainian military ammunition depot, armored vehicles and self-propelled artillery on Saturday. The Russian Defense Ministry also announced the control of one more settlement in Ukraine. As it said on Sunday that Russian forces had captured 2 Ukrainian villages, Lozova of Kharkiv region and Sontsivka of Donetsk region. Meanwhile, the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces said the military successfully repelled multiple Russian offensives. According to the officials, as of Saturday afternoon, the Ukrainian forces had engaged in over 100 fights with Russian forces. Earlier on Saturday, Kyiv launched a significant drone attack on the Russian city of Kazan, located 1,000 kilometers from the border, prompting a temporary suspension of operations at Kazan International Airport. The airport has now reopened. Meanwhile, the Russian Defense Ministry claimed to have taken control of Kostiantynopolsk in the Donetsk region of eastern Ukraine. Here's more in this report.
In a chilling sight, a major attack was experienced by Russian city of Kazan on Saturday, with 8 drone strikes targeting high-rise buildings. The strikes reportedly occurred in rapid succession, which flew into the multi-story buildings. The drones damaged buildings in Kazan with a population of more than 1.3 million people. No casualties were reported. Russia's defense ministry accused Ukraine of targeting civilian infrastructure in Kazan, adding that 6 drones were neutralized. Following the attack, Russian Civilian Aviation Authority temporarily suspended the airport operations in Kazan. Authorities have also cancelled major public events in the region. Meanwhile, in another development, Russia's defense ministry said that its troops have captured a new village near the key city of Kurakov in eastern Ukraine. Ukraine said on Friday that a Russian drone hit a Kharkiv apartment block, leaving at least 6 people wounded, while Russia blamed Ukraine for firing US-supplied rocket systems on a small town in the Kursk region, killing 5 and wounding 12 others. As the Russia-Ukraine conflict enters its 33rd month, both the sides are launching near-daily attacks with drones in an effort to exhaust and weaken each other's air defenses. Ayushi Bhatnagar's report for DD India.
A tragic traffic accident was reported in Brazil on Sunday, where a bus with 45 passengers on board collided with a truck on Sunday. The accident took place in the Brazilian state of Minas Gerais. According to the official, 38 people have died, while the others injured remained in critical condition after being transported to a local hospital. However, the cause of the accident is yet to be known and a probe is underway. Initially, firefighters reported the bus had a tire blowout, causing the driver to lose control before colliding at around 4 a.m. local time with an oncoming truck. A charity event turned into pain for Nigerians on Saturday after 2 major stampedes due to excessive crowd led to the deaths of multiple people. In the state capital Abuja, at least 10 people died and many more were injured in a scramble to receive gifts of charity being distributed by the Holy Trinity Catholic Church. While in Anambra State, a crowd crush occurred after a member of the community offered gifts including rice, vegetable oil and money. The 2 accidents came days after another such stampede in Africa's most populous country. This is amidst a growing trend by local organizations, churches and individuals to organize charity events ahead of Christmas as the country struggles with the worst cost of living crisis in a generation. French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Ethiopia, where Prime Minister sought support for Ethiopia's ambition to access the Red Sea. At a joint press conference, Macron called Ethiopia's request legitimate and urged dialogue to foster regional peace. The issue has intensified tensions between Ethiopia and Somalia, which fractured earlier this year over Ethiopia's plan to build a port in Somalia and a breakaway Somali region seeking international recognition since 1991. Ethiopia, a landlocked nation with troops in Somalia fighting insurgents, proposed recognizing Somaliland's independence in exchange for access to strategic coastal land. Somalia firmly opposes this, adding urgency to Macron's mediation efforts as the Red Sea remains a pivotal point of contention.
I encourage the continuation of dialogue to permanently calm the situation in the Horn of Africa while respecting the sovereignty of each party. But what the Prime Minister said about access to the Red Sea, the need for Ethiopia to diversify its access to have control of its destiny in a very difficult region environment is a legitimate request, and France wishes she can play a role and with a lot of humility help the diversification process through dialogue.
Régional ô combien difficile.
Let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. Spain's traditional Christmas lottery draw began in Madrid's Royal Theatre on Sunday. The children of San Ildefonso School call out the winning numbers along the prize money. The top prize of the lottery is $417,000 known as El Gordo. The draw takes place annually on December 22nd since 1812. The 26th edition of Harbin Ice Snow World has officially opened for visitors in Harbin, China. The theme for this year's park is Dream of Winter, Love Among Asia. The snow park is built using 3 lakh cubic meters of ice and snow, which is the largest in its 26-year history. New York City on Saturday saw its first measurable December snowfall since 2021, with some areas receiving 3 to 4 inches of snow. In upstate New York, a late effect snowstorm earlier in the week dumped 2 to 3 feet of snow in the Lakeview area near the Canadian border. Still to come on DD India News Hour. US President-elect Trump names television executive Mark Burnett as special envoy to UK. Albania bans TikTok for a year after killing of a teenager.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj, and a quick recap of the headlines. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi honoured with Kuwait's the Order of Mubarak the Great Award. PM also holds a discussion with the Amir of Kuwait. Big relief for US citizens ahead of Christmas. Government shutdown averted as President Biden signs funding bill into law. US carries out series of airstrikes against Houthis in Yemen. Within hours of the Houthis fired a ballistic missile at Israel. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni on Sunday called for the European Union to protect its borders from threats of illegal immigration. Speaking at a press conference after an EU summit on security in Finland, Meloni emphasized that addressing illegal immigration through a purely solidarity-based approach has been a flawed strategy. She called for a more comprehensive and effective framework to tackle the issue. US President Joe Biden signed the government funding bill on Saturday, averting a Christmas-time government shutdown after successful negotiations between Republicans and the Democrats in both houses of Congress. In a statement, Biden highlighted that the bill includes disaster relief and avoids an accelerated pathway to a tax cut for billionaires. The package had earlier cleared the Republican-controlled House of Representatives with bipartisan support. The late-night vote capped a frenetic week that saw President-elect Donald Trump and his ally Elon Musk defeat an initial bipartisan deal, throwing Congress into disarray. Ahead of his January 20th inauguration, US President-elect Donald Trump announced two key appointments to his administration on Saturday. Billionaire Tillman Fertitta, owner of the Houston Rockets and chairman of Landry's Restaurant and Hospitality Group, has been nominated by Trump as the ambassador to Italy. Mark Burnett, the creator of Trump's long-running reality TV show The Apprentice, has been appointed as special envoy to the United Kingdom. Burnett, known for producing hit shows like Survivor and Shark Tank, played a pivotal role in shaping Trump's television career. US President-elect Donald Trump criticized the unjust costs for US ships using the Panama Canal and threatened that the US would reassume control of the canal if it felt that Panama wasn't honoring the terms of 1977 treaty regarding the waterway's legal status. The treaty signed between United States and Panama brought a significant shift in global maritime power. The agreement granted Panama control over the Panama Canal that was initially constructed by the US. It marked a major turning point in Panama's sovereignty and international relations. Trump also hinted at China's growing influence around the canal, a worrying trend for American interests, and US businesses depend on the channel to move goods between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Thousands of Mexican migrant workers, undeterred by the looming threat of deportation under President-elect Donald Trump, made their way back to Mexico for the year-end holidays. More than 20,000 migrants on Thursday gathered in Nuevo Laredo to form a caravan, traveling over 1,000 kilometers to avoid the dangers of criminal groups preying on them during the journey. Despite the political tension between the US and Mexico, these migrants returned to their hometowns, including Jalpan de Serra in Querétaro, where they were warmly welcomed by local residents in anticipation of Christmas celebrations. This mass return occurs as the incoming Trump administration prepares to implement its controversial deportation plans. Albania announced a one-year ban on TikTok, the popular short video app, following the killing of a teenager last month that raised fears over the influence of social media on children. The ban, part of a broader plan to make schools safer, will come into effect early next year, Prime Minister Edi Rama said after meeting with parents groups and teachers from across the country. Several European countries, including France, Germany and Belgium, have enforced restrictions on social media use for children. In one of the world's toughest regulations targeting big tech, Australia approved in November a complete social media ban for children under 16. China criticized new US military aid to Taiwan on Sunday, saying that $571 million package seriously violates the One China principle and provisions of joint communiques between China and the US. As per the ministry's release, China will take all necessary measures to protect its sovereignty and territorial integrity, calling Taiwan a red line that must not be crossed in China-US relations. The White House said on Friday that Biden had authorized to draw down of up to $571.3 million in defense articles and services of the Department of Defense and military education and training to provide assistance to Taiwan. The World Health Organization has praised India for making significant progress in reducing malaria cases and deaths, especially in states where malaria is more common. This achievement was highlighted in WHO's World Malaria Report 2024. According to the report, malaria cases in India dropped from 6.4 million in 2017 to around 2 million in 2023, a huge 69% reduction. Malaria-related deaths also fell significantly from 11,100 in 2017 to 3,500 in 2023, marking a 68% decrease. WHO acknowledged the vital role of India's community health workers, most of whom are women. These workers have been instrumental in bringing down malaria cases and deaths by reaching people in remote areas. The report also noted that India has officially exited the high burden to high impact group this year, thanks to the considerable progress in reducing malaria in its high risk states. In another significant achievement, India's total forest and tree cover has increased to 25.17% in 2023 from 24.62% as per the latest India State of Forest Report 2023. The forest cover has minimally increased compared to tree cover in the country. Meanwhile, first-time trees grown under agroforestry have also been covered. States that added forests and tree covers are Chhattisgarh, UP, Orissa, Rajasthan, and Jharkhand, and states which reduced its forest and tree covers are MP, Karnataka, Nagaland, Bihar and Tripura. The report estimates of growing stock, the extent of trees outside forests, mangrove cover, bamboo resources and assessment of forest carbon stock. Several northern cities in India woke up to a chilly morning on Sunday as winter tightened its grip. A layer of fog blanketed parts of Delhi, with the minimum temperature dipping to 8 degrees Celsius. Residents were seen huddling around bonfires, while many sought warmth in night shelters as the cold wave continued. In Rajasthan, dropping temperatures disrupted daily life. Ajmer woke up to foggy conditions with the minimum temperature at 11 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir recorded its coldest night with temperatures plunging to minus 3.2 degrees Celsius. The icy conditions even caused parts of Dal Lake to freeze. Retired military dogs, known for their loyalty and service to the nation, are finding new homes where they continue to spread love and joy. On the 246th Remount Veterinary Course Day, the Indian Arms gifted 12 retired military dogs to Asha schools for special children and compassionate citizens. This initiative highlights the Indian Army's deep respect for its brave four-legged soldiers who have served the nation selflessly. Let's take a look at other stories making news. At least 2 people killed after a multi-story under-construction building collapsed in Punjab's Mohali. A rescue operation by National Disaster Response Force and Army personnel continues as more are suspected to be trapped under debris. India's western state Gujarat's Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel attended the Gujarat Cultural Warrior Award program in Surat on Sunday. CM Patel was joined by State's Home Minister Harsh Sanghvi in a vibrant cultural event. CM Bhupendra Patel also addressed the gathering celebrating the cultural contributions of the award recipients. Ahead of Mahakumbh Mela 2025, an AI-powered chatbot equipped with multilingual capability was launched in Uttar Pradesh's Prayagraj to pilgrims and visitors. Under the part of Digital Mahakumbh Vision, this is the first innovative experiment which will be ever used in Mahakumbh Fair. In a recent update from Turkey, 4 people were killed in southwest of the country on Sunday when an ambulance helicopter collided with a hospital building and crashed into the ground. Turkey's health ministry said that the helicopter was taking off from the training and research hospital carrying 2 pilots, a doctor and another medical worker. No one inside the building or on the ground was hurt. The cause of the accident, which took place during heavy fog, was being investigated. Still to come on DD India News Hour. India clinched under-19 Women's Asia Cup title after beating Bangladesh by 41 runs in Kuala Lumpur.
hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked, we just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj, and time now for sport. India cricket team lifted the Under-19 Women's Asia Cup trophy for the second time, defeating Bangladesh by 41 runs in Kuala Lumpur on Sunday. Batting first, India relied on opener G. Trisha's 52-run knock to post a total of 117 runs, while Mithila scored 17 runs, including 2 boundaries in the final over of the innings. Ayushi Shukla and Sonam Yadav wreaked havoc with the ball, taking 3 and 2 wickets of the Bangladeshi side respectively. In reply, Bangladesh could only manage 76 runs in their 20 overs before succumbing to the Indian bowlers. Tottenham Hotspur will host Liverpool at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday, looking to get their stuttering campaign back on track. Tottenham Hotspur are coming into the game against Liverpool on the back of a victory over Manchester United in the EFL Cup. On the other hand, Liverpool are on top of the league table and they will look to extend their gap with the title rivals. The Reds have drawn their last 2 Premier League games and they will be desperate to get back to winning ways. Liverpool cannot afford to keep faltering if they want to win the Premier League title this season. Alexander Sorloth scored in a stoppage time to give Atletico Madrid a 2-1 comeback victory over Barcelona on Saturday. This win lifted Atletico to the top of La Liga table with 41 points, marking their 12th consecutive victory across all competitions. They are now 3 points ahead of Barcelona. Barcelona with a better team in the first half, with Pedri scoring in the 30th minute after a brilliant run into the box. Atletico equalized when Rodrigo de Paul capitalized on a poor clearance from Marc Casado, finishing from the edge of the box. Sorloth then sealed the win with a first-time strike 6 minutes into stoppage time, converting a deep cross from Nahuel Molina. Southampton named Ivan Juric as manager on an 18-month contract with the job of ensuring Premier League survival after Russell Martin was sacked earlier this month. Southampton, who have 5 points from 16 matches, are without a win in their last 7 games in all competitions and stand 7 points adrift of the safety zone. The visit mid-table Fulham on Sunday will be the first time Juric has managed a club outside Italy. Juric faces the difficult task of reviving Southampton's flailing side, with club scoring only 11 goals in 16 matches. England's all-rounder Ben Stokes has been ruled out of the next year's Champions Trophy tournament in Pakistan and White Ball Tour of India. The 33-year-old was not considered after damaging a hamstring during third test against New Zealand recently. He previously missed the home series against Sri Lanka and the first test in Pakistan due to injury. Team management have decided against risking Stokes as England play a 5-match test series against India at home in June next year. Key batsman Joe Root and fast bowler Mark Wood have returned to the ODI side. Christmas festivities are in full swing across the globe, with unique celebrations spreading holiday cheer. Santa's bringing smiles in a unique way. Spain's traditional Christmas lottery draw began in Madrid's Royal Theatre on Sunday. The children of San Ildefonso School call out the winning numbers along with the prize money. The top prize of the lottery is $417,000, known as El Gordo. The draw takes place annually on December 22nd since 1812. Well, the Christmas celebrations are happening all across the world, and the Christmas festivities certainly are in full swing across the globe. Unique celebrations spreading holiday cheer. It's jingle all the way. Christmas is celebrated in the entire world with much joy and fervor, and celebrations take place everywhere in the entire world, including India. And this visuals we are getting for you from Spain. Look how people are bracing themselves up for Christmas. They are in fact getting themselves up for the Christmas. Christmas is celebrated with much joy and fervor in the entire world. These are the visuals that we are getting for you from Spain. All right, and the 26th edition of the Harbin Ice Snow World has officially opened for visitors in Harbin, China. And all right, let's go across to Kuwait now. MoU signing between India and Kuwait on various sectors. 4 MoUs have been signed between India and Kuwait, and these MoUs are MoU between India and Kuwait on cooperation in the field of defence between Ministry of Defence, Government of India, and Ministry of Defence, Government of State of Kuwait. This MoU will institutionalize bilateral cooperation in the area of defence. Key areas of cooperation include a training, exchange of personnel and experts, joint exercises, cooperation in defence industry, supply of defence equipment, and collaboration in research and development, among others. Second is a cultural exchange program, CEP, between India and Kuwait for the years 2025 to 2029 between Ministry of Culture, Government of India, and Ministry of Information, Government of State of Kuwait. The CEP will facilitate greater cultural exchanges in art, music, dance, literature, and theatre, cooperation in preservation of cultural heritage, research and development in the area of culture, and organizing of festivals. Number 3, executive program for cooperation in the field of sports 2025 to 2028, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports of India and Public Authority for Sport of Kuwait. The executive program will strengthen bilateral cooperation in the field of sports between India and Kuwait by promoting exchange of visits of sports leaders for experience sharing, participation in programs and projects in the field of sports, exchange of expertise in sports medicine, sports management, sports media, sports science, among others. Number 4, MoU on Kuwait's membership of International Solar Alliance. The International Solar Alliance collectively covers the deployment of solar energy and addresses key common challenges to the scaling up of use of solar energy to help member countries develop low carbon growth trajectories. These are the 4 MoUs which have been signed between India and Kuwait. This is a historic and a significant visit by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Kuwait, and as a matter of fact, in over 4 decades, any Indian Prime Minister is visiting Kuwait. This visit holds a significance, a great significance in fact, as this will certainly strengthen the bilateral ties between both the countries. And in fact, like for the viewers who have just joined in, we have just told that 4 MoUs been signed between India and Kuwait. And India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati has recently launched Waves, entering the field of OTT platform. Waves provides a complete infotainment ecosystem to digital media and OTT audiences. If you also want great content for free, then download Waves today. That's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.